Hi, it's Leslie with Safe Pebble Creek. Today's update is dated Wednesday, October 6, 2021. As of now, we have not heard of any new developers or builders being interested in the course as far as buying it for development. We can always assume that these investors or developers, builders are all still being contacted, but we have no news of that. Last we heard, according to Ace Golf, the course has not been listed for sale. When asked how much he is willing to sell the golf course for at this point, he has avoided that question. Our village's HOA asked him, and they said that he avoided the question. I asked him online, and he did not answer me at all. But what we need to keep in mind is this course is devaluing every day as it sits here dormant without being kept up. It's not terrible in the fact that it's not being kept up as far as being brought back to a course. I mean, it can be brought back, so no worries about that. But keep in mind that every day it's not being kept up, it's got to be worth less and less and less. The restaurant equipment has been taken out of the clubhouse, as well as the furnishings and pretty much everything else that was in there. Sprinklers have been removed from the course and things like that. These are all things that are going to bring down the price of this course and what it is able to be sold for. If there are no developers or builders, then the only other option would be to sell it as a golf course. And that would be to an individual or maybe to a group of investors, a corporation. But the point is that no one's going to buy it until it comes back into a reasonable price range. And at this point, we believe that that might be happening. And that's exactly our goal. Our goal is to wait it out, bring it down into a price range that someone can afford to buy it and bring it back as a course. We just got word 2 days ago that Lake Bernadette, which is north of us, also an older, mature course, recently sold, and now this course was an active course. It was not closed down. It just recently sold for $875,000. Again, $875,000. So we're believing that, hey, there are people out there who want to own golf courses. They sold it, and they sold it to someone who wants to run it as a golf course. There are people out there that want to own and run golf courses. Hopefully, we've gotten ours back into a price range, or at least into a situation where if there are no builders and there are no developers interested in this property, how long is he willing to pay the cost of keeping it around, paying insurance, and all of the overhead that he would have monthly, when he could go ahead and sell it as a golf course? And that is our hope, that this will happen. I want to give you a little example of the deception. Recently, I'll give you exactly, Neighborhood News article dated August 17th, 2021. In this article, Place, I'm going to read it to you. Place is still awaiting the results of environmental testing on the course, which was found to have high levels of arsenic and dieldrin from insecticide applications from before he owned the property, Place says. And this is the important part that I want you to listen to here. He says, the results have been sent to the Environmental Protection Commission, and directions on how to remediate the soil so the land can be developed is forthcoming. He says the results have been sent to the EPC, Environmental Protection Commission. A record search has been conducted, and according to the EPC, no record could be found to any such submission. As of September 15th, 2021, approximately 10:52 in the morning, the record search concluded that no record could be found of any such submission of soil samples. Soil samples do not seem to be at the EPC. keep calling in your code violations. The link to that can be found on my Facebook page. It can also be found on the website at safepebblecreek.com. They are coming out and cutting as these violations come. They're not cutting in general, but only addressing the violations. Again, you guys know if the grass is over 10 inches high, that's an issue. Standing water, limbs down. There's a tree down on 8. I hope you guys have called that in. But if you haven't, please do. But they have 10 days to address the code violation, and the officer will come back and follow up in 14 days. So it's been effective. What I can say is the cutting that they're doing is a tractor pulling a big flat mowing device behind it. It's not very good. So, you know, they're cutting the grass lower than 10 inches, but it's not low. It may still be six inches in some areas. But it is getting done. And they're leaving, particularly it had been so wet, it rained so much last month, that there's huge ruts out there where this bush hog giant tractor thing has made these big ruts in the mud, and it's ugly. But there is no weed eating going on or any additional efforts. Simply all I can tell so far is grass being cut, but please continue to call those in and get him to do what he should be doing. If not, he will be fined. If he does not pay fines, he will go to court. Oddly, the huge monument signs that they had on each whole big piece of granite or marble, I think it was granite, they've been knocked over and pulled out of the ground on several holes. And in addition to that, on those same holes, the ball washers have been pulled out of the ground, and they still have the cement ball attached to the bottom of them. I do not believe this to be vandalism. I don't know why the course would do this, unless they were planning to really resell those. But now they've been sitting there for several weeks. And I just want you to be aware of that and just kind of know that that's happened. I don't know, again, is it an attempt to make the course look uglier? But as far as I can tell, it does not seem to be a result of vandalism. The HOA seem to be taking a hands-off approach, as far as I can tell from both HOA associations. And I think that this is commendable. I think this is wise. This is not, you know, what HOAs are necessarily for. As you know, they do not speak for you as an individual or a resident or for anyone in your family. But yes, their opinion matters, and I respect what they do, but I think it's wise. What I understand is that they're basically saying, we're going to leave this decision up to the individuals, the individual residents, to make their own decisions. If you want to sign petitions, which I hope that you do, if you want to sign petitions and write in, the HOA seem to be hopefully staying informed, but they're making that decision to allow the residents to stay informed, hopefully through Safe Pebble Creek, and make this decision for yourselves. The Clubhouse parking lot has been roped off. It's been roped off for a couple of weeks now. On one end, it's a rope with 2 orange flags on either end. Just a couple of days ago, they roped off the other entrance, which would be closer to the entrance into the neighborhood. It's an attempt, I guess, to keep people from hanging out in that parking lot. I have not heard that people have been doing that, but it is ugly and unattractive as the first thing that people will see coming into this entrance.